Hey everyone, welcome back again to your podcast S to Cube, Success and Subjectivity for the Society. I am so glad and I'm so happy to be here again with you guys in this new year, 2025. Happy New Year. By the way, I haven't wished you the Happy New Year yet. And welcome to the third season. Well, what will be different in this season? We're gonna have some video reactions of movies. We're gonna have new modalities of video that I wanna use in this new season. And well, always trying to do the best for you guys to bring you the best quality of content. So I'm so happy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the time of being here with us one more time, once again. As I always say, I like to I like to tell you that you must be aware and you must be conscious of how grateful you must be for being okay, for having a good health, a physical health, a mental health. And as I said, here we talk about mental health and music. So thank you so much for giving us this space. Today, I bring you a new guest, the first guest of the new season, which is the third season for this new year. I want to introduce you to Olga. So welcome, Olga. Thanks for being here. I would like you to introduce yourself to audience, to tell people, to tell folks a little bit about who you are, what you do. So welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time. So there you go.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Hello Juan. Thanks for
Uh,
having me. So my name is Olga Koeva. I'm 31 years old. I come originally from Bulgaria, but I've been living in Regensburg, Germany for 12 years now.
Great.
I'm a professional musician, and also a hyper polyglot. So music and languages have always been my passion. I'm also interested in culture, history, and so on. Because I also studied international relations and cross-cultural management. But like my mm, main passions are music and languages. So I speak 13 and a half languages.
Wow.
Uh, and
Wow,
I'm planning
that
and I'm planning to um, study and to learn new ones in the future.
wow, that's amazing everything you're telling me. And that's precisely what I wanted to talk about here today. So I remember that when I we did the collaboration in your channel, the video version of your channel, it was great. If you, by the way, if you haven't checked that video out, I'm gonna put it down here, the link in the description of this video, so you can go and first of all you can check Olga's YouTube channel. You can check Olga's also music channel because you have a great music channel, and I wanna help you to promote it here if it is possible.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Yeah,
congratulations.
it's the same one. It's the same channel for polyglot videos and for music because it's
Oh, it's the same.
like it's me. It's me. It's the same channel. Like it's one person, one channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So I'm gonna put the link down here so then you can go
Yeah.
and check it out, guys,
Nice.
because it's so great. I already have and I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, Olga. And I remembered, yeah, that you last time told me about your passion towards music as well. Um, and to go forward with this, I would like to ask you first of all, if you could share with us how your passion towards languages first, because I want to focus in the first part towards languages right now.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
And I want to talk about the two fields, but for now, I want to talk about the languages. So, regarding to languages in your life, I would like you to share with our audience how was your passion for languages, how when it began at first, and there was a specific moment or influence in your life when that sparked inside yourself that interest. So I would like
Mm.
to tell the folks that. So there you go.
Yeah. So I grew up bilingually with Russian and Bulgarian. My mom is Russian. My dad is Bulgarian. So languages have always been present in my life because we were talking two languages, Russian and Bulgarian.
Oh, great.
Uh, And during my childhood, I was also listening to music in different languages, in English, in Spanish, um,
Nice.
and and I wanted to learn English because, like my parents told me, it was important, an important language, and I wanted to learn Spanish also in the future.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so that's how my languages passion began, and I was curious, always curious about like learning some words in different languages. So, for example, I asked some friends of ours, for example, a friend of ours who lived in Norway. So I asked him some things in Norwegian, some words in Norwegian, or another friend of ours who lived in Hungary for some time. I also asked him about some words in Hungarian, for example. So
Oh,
I was
nice.
always curious. So how is this in this language? How is this word in that language? So yeah,
Oh, nice. So what I can see is that because of topic of migration of your parents, you were born with that ability because you learned it naturally because
yeah,
you grew up like that,
yeah,
right? So, well, I think sometimes in life, and that's one of the points that I expose here regarding to mental health. Um, Sometimes we bring stuff in our lives, even the thing that we love to do, whether it's as a professional perspective, whether it's we work doing that, or it just passionates us, like you said, in our lives just naturally. Maybe because you were born like that, you like developed that interest toward languages,
yeah,
and that's good to know. And I think that's the most healthy process and way to do things in life naturally, just because it was meant to be and we're here, and
yeah,
it developed naturally. So sometimes people say it was an accident just like this, just because I had to do it, or it came to me like that, just naturally. So I think that's great, and that's thank you for sharing that story with us, Olga. And yeah, that's many cases that happens many times with many people because
yeah,
of migration of the parents. You learn many languages, and regarding what you said to abilities that I just liked it, and you liked it to learn Spanish, to translate words in your mind. I think that's amazing because here, the topic here, and specifically in this podcast, is about having a natural ability and just liking it and to exploit it so people can notice about it and you can show it and teach it to people. So thank you for sharing that with us, Olga. So to keep going through with this talk that we are having here, I would like also to ask you, at what age did you start developing a serious interest in learning languages? I mean, the change where, okay, I like this. My parents taught me Russian and Bulgarian, but what I mean is, at what time happens that change in your life that I wanna show this and focus myself this professionally? I mean, I wanna study this career and I wanna dedicate myself, my life, to do this the rest of my life. So I would like you to tell the folks, the
yeah.
audience, at what age did you start developing a serious interest in learning languages, and what motivated you to pursue
Yeah.
it so extensively? So,
So I I've never studied linguistics,
oh,
um, but like the serious interest I developed when I was a teenager, maybe 13, 14. So at 14, I started studying German. So English, I started studying in kindergarten, and then in school with a private teacher, because in school you like can't really learn
and
English like in primary school you cannot. And then when I was in high school, so when I was 14, so I started studying German and then French,
yeah,
and then the other languages like in Germany. But like 14, 15, I developed my interest, like serious interest for languages, and I wanted to learn German, French, Spanish, Italian, maybe
Oh,
Hungarian
great.
because my ancestors are Hungarian, but
Ah, okay.
now my plans are I have other plans, so I haven't studied Hungarian yet. So yeah, so I would say as a teenager.
Oh,
Yeah.
when you were a teenager, that's good to know. And I think the environment over there in Europe like accommodates to your personality because literally when you cross a border and you go to other country, people speak a different language, and I think I like that versatility that Europe has. It adapts yourself. That kind of environment can adapt to yourself very well because yeah, is like many different borders, and crossing each border people speak a different language. It's so different from here in America that many I think more of the half of the continent speak Spanish and the other two parts speak English. Well, I think it's nice. It helped you also to perform that kind of abilities in yourself and to generate that passion inside yourself. And that's great. So you mentioned you never study linguistics, but it was like a kind of self entrepreneurship for yourself. You did it. What's the word? You did it like a personal entrepreneurship with no degree, no formal degree education. But I think that's great because you have the abilities, and I want to show you guys the example of Olga here that uh, just having that kind of ability, that sense, that reason inside yourself, that voice inside your head, what I mean, telling you this is the way you must follow this path, even it's enough or more than enough than being studied. It's just to know how to exploit your talent and to do what you love, because basically I think life is made for doing what you love, from my point of view. So Olga, did you study like other career, for example, like music? You said that you're a professional musician, right?
Yeah, I studied sacred music and organ improvisation, and then I studied international relations and cross-cultural management. Yeah. Of
Wow.
course, I studied languages during this second education, yeah,
Yeah.
um, as well. But I'm like never studied translation or linguistics. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. But I think that's amazing. Studying music. In which brand of music did you focus? You like more like a songwriting or music composition?
Writing, no, 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 no. Composing, no. Improvisation on the
Im-
organ, for example.
oh,
Because
improvising.
I
That.
studied this organ improvisation, like improvise.
Oh, that's
But I
well.
also like singing like pop, not only classical music, also pop, Latino, bossa nova, and so on.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
really
You
like bossa nova.
you perform in different languages then. So you studied organ improvisation. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
your
yeah. Professionally, yes. Sacred music and organ improvisation. Yeah.
that's like your main field, but you also like to have like that kind of versatility in other music
Yeah, yeah,
genres.
yeah. Because I'm like a little bit Latina, you know. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's why.
amazing. That's
Mm.
amazing. And then thanks for sharing this with us. Here in the audience, there are many people who are fan of that kind of music. For example, the people in Brazil, bossa nova is from
Yeah,
there. So.
bossa nova. Yeah, bossa nova. I really love bossa nova, and
Me too.
always studying, like always learn about new bossa novas that I've never heard about. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm such a big fan, and I'm gonna keep checking your channel. Remember, guys, I'm gonna put it down here, the link.
Please subscribe and listen to my bossa nova covers. I will post new ones in the future, new bossa nova and new Latino in the future. Yeah.
Sure
Hmm.
thing, guys. So, you can find the link down here. Then you can go subscribe, active the bell releases of that Olga does in her channel. And yeah, subscribe and like all her videos. So here's my invitation for you guys. So Olga, before proceeding with the next question, when did you have that kind of interest towards music? Do you think music and languages in your life are linked, or did you develop an interest towards languages first than music, or how did it happen in your life at the
I
same
think it was
time?
in parallel at the same time.
At
Yeah,
the same time?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah. I like singing in different languages, so yeah, I think it was in the same
that's
time when I was
awesome.
small.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
you
little.
can link those kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
feels
Because
very easy.
singing helps the pronunciation, for example. So yeah.
Well, to language performers, it could be useful. Remember also that what Evelina and what Michal told us in the last episodes. So here's another invitation, another example, and you can do it, guys. Nothing is impossible. And the most important thing is the passion you have towards a certain activity. So, Olga, to keep going forward, I would like to ask you if you could tell us a little bit about your journey in migrating to Germany, right? You told us
Yeah.
that you learned uh, all the languages and you developed that interest towards languages when you were a teenager, and the first, for example, English when you were in kindergarten, and that happened when you were still in Bulgaria. You grew up
Yeah.
in Bulgaria, right? When you were a child.
Yeah, of course. So I finished high school in Bulgaria and then I moved to Germany
Oh,
together with my
okay.
parents. So because I wanted to study sacred music, I wanted to study organ, and in Bulgarian there was no tradition about organ music. So that's why I chose Germany and I chose Regensburg because
Oh,
the
okay.
this University of Sacred Music is a really good one, a good one. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So, I would like you to tell the audience how was like that kind of journey, that adaptation process? What were some of the biggest challenges you faced during that transition of, yeah, adapting yourself to a new culture, a new language? Well, I think you told us that you started German to learn German very young, but how was like that kind of process, that kind of adaptation of your personality to a new culture, new people, new habits of the ones in your surroundings? So I would like you to share that with audience. So
So the language was not a problem. I mean, like the German, high standard German. I mean, standard German was not a problem.
okay,
I spoke it really well when I came. I had B2 level.
okay,
And adaptation was also not it wasn't a problem because in Bulgaria I was interested in German culture and I knew, for example, that Germans are punctual and that you have to agree appointments for everything in Germany, even when you wanna have a call with your friend, you also have to agree.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the only challenge that I had was the Bavarian language because in Regensburg it's near Munich and there Bavarian is spoken. So
Oh, okay,
everyone at the University of Sacred Music taught in Bavarian.
okay.
Organ, choir conducting, everything was taught in Bavarian. So I had to learn Bavarian really fast,
Oof.
but I learned it. So it was not, yeah. Now I can speak it. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. How old were you when you moved with your parents? You were
18.
18? Oh,
Hmm.
so you were like finishing up your teenager part of your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I think it must be such a test in your life, a hard test.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
But well, congratulations. we were talking in other episodes about migration here also in this channel, because Evelina shared with us that she moved for a while to Spain, and yeah, this also this podcast also has many episodes in Spanish, and many Spanish speakers do migrations to United States or to Europe. Also, in other parts of the world, are many people who do migrations. So I think this could be useful. This kind of information is just having a clear goal. In your case, was studying at college, music in the specialization
At the
field you.
university. Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. And I'm going for it, and nothing in any way will stop me. And you did it very well. And always having somebody who you can count on, somebody who can support your process. In this case, were your parents. So congratulations, Olga. And how is the life in Germany? You like Germany? And there are other people who make music around.
Like music, yeah, but I mean, it's very difficult to develop as a musician in general. So that's why I studied this other education, international relations, cross-cultural management, and now I'm looking for employment. It's not easy, but yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. Well, it's another kind of ability that you have, and I think is a good choice to develop yourself in something you like. And well, Olga, to finish this episode, because I wanna tell you guys that we are gonna have a second episode with Olga in Italian, so Italian speakers can understand it. So because I also wanna share a little bit of Olga's capacities to speak in languages. Um, so I would like to remember you that I will be uploading this episode in the future. So keep standing by to any updates and any information that I will tell you in the future. So when the episode is done, I will be letting you know where can you find it. So Olga, to finish this first part of our interview of today, I would like to ask you. How did adapting to a new culture and environment in Germany influence your perspective or language learning and also music learning integration? I mean, maybe because of college that you studied music, that you met people who also were studying that same career, that same degree helped you regarding languages. There are many people who speak different languages in Germany. I imagine. Well, I haven't been there yet, but I suppose that there are many immigrants from everywhere, many other foreigners that go to Germany. So I would like you to understand. I would like you to tell us that. How did moving to Germany, adapting to that new culture in Germany, influence that perspective you have about music and languages. So we can listen to you. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned, like when I moved to Germany, I learned about how, like, about performance, for example, of Renaissance and Baroque music.
Yeah.
That you don't have this tradition in Bulgaria. Um, so I learned about this specific performance that not everyone knows about. And languages, yeah, I when I started studying Spanish, it was here in Germany. I met some Cuban and Mexican colleagues of mine,
Oh,
like, yeah, colleagues at university who also were studying sacred music, and so thanks
nice.
to them, I improved my Spanish really much.
You
And
could practice
yeah,
with them and
yeah,
understand.
yeah, 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 yeah. So this was, yeah, this was these were these two things about music and languages. Yeah.
Yeah, the things that help you to improve your process being in Germany and adapting to the culture. That's amazing because I want to highlight a huge point here and such an important point here, which is you need people, you need branches to connect yourself to achieve a certain goal in your life. For example, if you have an entrepreneurship and you want to project yourself in certain way, and you start to develop the step-by-step process that you have to follow to be able to achieve that goal. You cannot do it alone. I mean, maybe, but it will be very difficult. It's always good to surround yourself by people who are specialized in that same topic, in that same interest, in that same field, and they will help you to improve yourself, and you can also help them to improve themselves. It's complicated to solve things only by yourself. We are social beings, social human beings, and we are made to live in community, to live together, and to grow together. So I think that's great. And yeah, the two we have a special phrase, a famous phrase that says, "Two heads think more than only one head." So the people added to your project will make it better. So Olga, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I hope in next part, in next part in Italian, and we can talk a little bit more about your process, about your journey, about your experience moving to Germany, maybe a little bit more about music. We could, because this podcast is mental health and music, exactly the profile you have, and maybe in the next part in Italian, I would like to do my best to learn from you all those technical aspects. How is the improvisation with the organ you do? What, for example, we could talk about the most difficult things and hardest things to take into account when you do an improvisation solo in the organ, for example, or switch into another genres. How is the what's the advantage? What are the advantages of versatility that you have, because you not only play classic music but also bossa nova and Latin rhythms,
Latino, pop, a little bit of pop, a little bit of
pop,
jazz. So yeah.
a lot. That's amazing, and yeah, sure thing. And well, I have nothing more to say than thanking you. That thank you once again for taking the time of being here, for taking the time of talking to audience. So, guys, be prepared for the next part in Italian, because we're gonna be so technical next episode for musicians, for producers, for songwriters, for music composers, for artists, and people in the industry of music, and also language performers, because this channel is full of many language performers like my former guests. So um, I know Olga can tell Olga can tell us a little bit of your process and many things that could be useful for that kind of people in our audience, both as musicians, as language performers, and language learners, and translators, and so on and so on, developed in that kind of fields. So Olga, thank you so much of being here. I would like you
My
to
pleasure.
Thank you. I would like you to give you the opportunity of telling the audience a last words just for this first part of the interview, to a greeting, to say something for them.
Hmm.
And so there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So my last word: be motivated. Never lose your motivation. Study languages. Um, so languages are cool. You can do it. Everyone can do it. So good luck with your language learning.
Thank you, Olga. And sure thing, because there's something that everyone's gonna need, because when you travel, you will notice what I'm talking about. You will need to learn languages. So, Olga, thank you so much. So we're gonna proceed with the closing part, and remember, be prepared for the second part in Italian. So here we go with the closing part. Thank you guys for being here, to accompanying ourselves here in this journey, in this learning process where we talk about mental health and psychology and music. In this podcast, your family, the one you're also a part of, and the family of our podcast S2Cube, Success and Subjectivity for the Society. So thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being here, because this is because of you. You are the ones who make this project bigger. And as I've told you since the first day we started this project, the more people added to this cause, the best and the strongest it will be. Um, and since the beginning, since we were only two people, I've always told you that. And thank you so much for the views we're having. If you're not watching this in YouTube, if you're only listening to the audio, I want to thank all the countries in Asia, in Africa, that are listening in Spotify, that are listening in Apple Podcasts, and in other platforms of podcasts. Thank you so much. Other countries in Asia that I've seen. In other episode, I will make the list, thanking each one of them by the name. So remember, success and subjectivity for the society is to keep the password. Through the one you will unlock the happiness and the success in your life. I hope you guys have a rest of afternoon, evening, day, whether the place where you're listening to us. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a nice rest of day. Take care of yourself and see you next time. Bye.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.